Well, National Geospatial-Intelligence Agency and the City of St. Louis have a long history. So they've really been a really important part of our community and an organization that we're very, very proud of. The National Geospatial-Intelligence Agency has been a valued part of our city since its inception in 1942. Like the NGA, we're proud of our history of innovation, research, and technology. Just over 10 years ago, we opened the Cortex Innovation District and have since created more than 2,500 new technology jobs and have become a national model for urban innovation. And that's a great fit for NGA. We're now working to build another innovation district on the north side of our downtown, and we'd be proud to have NGA anchor it, NGA's new address in its hometown for 72 years.
I have never known St. Louis not to deliver a strategic piece that they've decided they wanted to do.
We're pulling everybody together to help make sure that this is a successful, long-term project.
We were working with a developer who had a great vision for redeveloping the north side. And so we have a plan to build around that site.
The NGA location that's been proposed by the city is right there in the hub of the next innovation district in St. Louis. And we stay in the city of St. Louis, and we stay in the middle of all that activity because it is our community's center. It's our community's soul.
They need to stay together with us. As a child, my dad working at NGA, and this is in the early 60s, and I remember something that wasn't always true in St. Louis. They had an integrated softball team. You know, the best players were black and the best players were white. The championship integrated softball team was really important in my development to know the good things that can happen in life.
There's going to be an innovation community that's going to be around NGA that will help bring it into an urban core that is really the future of innovation in this country.
And to the extent that NGA director, when he talked about the need for the NGA to really embrace being open and doing work in open environments and not necessarily embracing how they functioned in the past in isolation, to recognize that what they're doing now is driven by competition. It is driven by an open environment. And that's essentially what we have in the St. Louis Innovation Districts, are these very open, collaborative environments.
What the most dynamic organizations want are to be in close proximity so that you're bumping up against people, sometimes intentionally, sometimes unintentionally. Many of great ideas have come out of these serendipitous exchanges, which can only come when we're close to each other.
You can literally walk up and down the street on Washington Avenue, and there are tons of technology entrepreneurs. So when we talk about the St. Louis Tech Corridor, what we're really trying to talk about is how do we actually create incredible density of the smartest people in the world working on the world's most interesting problems. NGA is obviously a huge part of that component, but it's not the only part.
So the 220-acre Cortex district is just west of downtown. I think it's about 2 miles or so from the proposed NGA site. So it's very close proximity to what's going to go on there. And it really is that, I think the NGA site will be a continued bridge as we redevelop the entire region.
One of the things that that innovators of Cortex did was they had incredible vision as to how they could transform what really was a wasteland. Instead of destroying everything in their site, they took what was there and they breathed new life into it.
We have our workforce with a more inclusive group of young men and women that live right within a very close proximity. In addition to that, you have the transportation means to transport people to and from a project of this size. If this were to start tomorrow, we have the capacity of our workforce right now that are waiting to begin.
Many of the new employees of NGA that will be employed when it's fully developed are now in high school, and the trend of the young people here in St. Louis really is to relocate into the city neighborhoods and the downtown neighborhoods.
It's all about being in an urban environment, because the millennial population has voted with its feet, so to speak, car optional as much as they can be, live, work, play as closely integrated together as possible.
The next generation is looking at convenience. Being disjointed from that and being not in the center of St. Louis, I think is problematic.
The day of wanting to drive 30 miles or 30 minutes to work day in, day out is really quite outdated. And as the workforce gets younger, that becomes even more so.
But now what we're finding is the people that we're hiring, they want to have a good place to eat. They want to be able to add some entertainment. They want to make sure that their kids are getting exposed to other things in life and that they can see their friends, and sort of the mix of I want to get around town, I want to be able to be at work for a period of time, I want to stay connected with my family.
We do have, not so far from where we're thinking about locating the NGA, the St. Louis Symphony, a great cultural asset. And not so far away, the Missouri Botanical Garden, the St. Louis Zoo, Forest Park, the largest urban park in America, a great cultural asset that brings enormous benefit to our region.
1,000 technology companies in downtown St. Louis by 2025. That is going to happen. NGA and other organizations that can be a part of that, it's huge because they can feed off of all the energy and the talent that's being built there.
That really is the site for NGA because it's what's accessible, it's where growth can happen, it's where we can meet all of the needs that they have.
We've been together for a long time. I can remember, I'm going to tell a little bit on myself. It's probably been more than 50 years. But I can remember as a child, my dad worked for what was then called the Aeronautical Chart Information Center. But it is what we call NGA today. He was a cartographer, and I can remember in the 60s, my dad bringing home maps from the Gemini and the Apollo space flights. And I can remember as a kid watching television, and Walter Cronkite had his map, and I had my map. And we followed the Gemini spacecraft around the Earth. We followed the Apollo spacecraft from the Earth to the moon and back. And I did more than one report at school about Apollo and Gemini, and it's just an indication of how we've been together for a long time. I have a colleague whose son just recently did a report on cartography at NGA, and I find it very ironic that 50 years later, here's a young man doing the same thing I did 50 years ago. That's how much NGA has been a part of our community and how important it is to stay a part of our community.
For other people in St. Louis, this is a good time to get excited, but for people looking at reinvesting in St. Louis, it's an even better time to get excited.
We're simply saying that you are here in the city of St. Louis, and we have everything that you need here in the city of St. Louis.
The vision that I have for the 5th Ward in regards to the Northside regeneration, I just see it as an opportunity grower, as a game changer, as an opportunity to transform a community so that it can be more workable, walkable, safe.
Most of us would like to have some kind of legacy. Most of us would like to leave this planet believing that we made a difference, that we did something that actually mattered. And if I had to make a decision about whether or not I would take a former public housing project site or move into a suburban area in another state and think about my legacy and think about the impact, there's no contest. You put it in the urban core. We now have a chance to do that, and we should not squander the opportunity to further strengthen the urban core.